Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Tuesday's literacy lesson. We are going to start with a spelling activity this morning, and we had our new list yesterday that you were introduced to. We have got the list on the board. We've got abundant, brilliant, constant, distant, dominant. We've got elegant. We've got fragrant, ignorant, tolerant, and vacant. And you've got that list on Edshed, and you should have got them written down also in your books. I did send them on the Marvelous Me as well. Okay, so I always say that it's great if you can spell these words, but it's even better if you can use them in your text, or when you come across them in a reading book, you understand what they mean. So your starter activity for this morning is you're going to use an online dictionary or thesaurus, and you're going to find the definition for each of your words on your list. So you will need your purple book. You will need something to write with. You need to make sure that you can see your list of your words, and you need to make sure that you can get onto an online dictionary or thesaurus. And good luck. I'm sure that I'm going to see some fantastic definitions. Okay, off you go with your starter activity. Okay, Year 6. We're now going to have a little look at our handwriting, and we're working our way through letters of the alphabet and seeing how we can join them cursively to other letters and make sure that we form our letters really spot on. So we're on to D now, and I'm going to show you, as I usually do, how you join your letter D's, and then you're going to have a little go underneath your spelling definition work that you've just completed. So here we go. I'm going to lead into my D, then I'm going to go R, into my F and T. I'm getting used to those F's now, so it's a good time to have a little practice. So now we've got proofread. So I'll lead into my P, which sits on the line. It's not a capital. Two O's, then into my F, then into my R, E, A, D. Okay, so we'll do that again. My P sits on the line, into my R, double O, into my F, R, E, A, and then my D. Okay, proofread. Then we've got landowners, and all of these come from your text that we're going to be using for writing today. So I'm going to start with my L. I'll start here. L-A-N-D-O, pointy W, N-E-R-S. Let's have a little go again. So L-A-N-D-O, into my pointy W, oh, and into my N, E, oh, it's gone peculiar. Let's try again. So L-A-N-D-O, into my W, N-E-R-S. Okay, and then finally, hideout. So we've got H-I-D-E-O-U-T. Okay. So, underneath your spelling definition words, you are going to have a little go at 2 lines of each. So 2 lines of draft, 2 lines of proofread, 2 lines of landowners, and 2 lines of handwriting, hideout. Okay, I don't think I've woke up from half term yet. All right, so pause the video, off you go. Okay, let's see what you're going to do next then. So we've got a little starter activity, and you're going to be looking at page 6 in your writing book. And what you're going to do is have a little look at question 1 to start off with. So question 1. All right, so I've got it on the board here. It's just a little warm-up activity so that we can get our brains thinking about reading and writing. So we're going to be thinking about editing today, and what we've got here is we've got some text, and they're not quite right, some little extracts. Okay, and the things here that we could do in order to make these better. So if you have a look at your book, okay, it says curling is a game played on ice where teams push rounded stones down a lane towards a target, aiming for its centre to win points. Okay, so run out of breath by the time you've read that. The second one says there are 2 teams. Each team has 4 players. They take it in turns to slide stones. So that's doesn't flow very well, does it? And then finally, you've got each team has 8 round stones, which are smooth and round. They can be used to hit the opponent's 8 round stones. So we've got some words there that I keep hearing them as I'm saying them. So on the side, you've got what could you do to improve those? You've got to match up the task, what you could do, to the correct little bit of text. Okay, so which of these would you do for each of those? Okay, so in your book, you're going to draw a line from the text to the handy tip that you could do to improve it. Okay, the little editing tip. Okay, so pause your video, have a go. So, did you spot what you needed to do, Year 6? Let's have a little look then, shall we? So, curling is a game played on ice where teams push rounded stones down a lane towards a target, aiming for its centre to win points. I run out of breath by the time I get to the end of that. So, I would say that we're going to split the sentences so they're easier to read. We need to do a little bit of editing, and can we shorten those sentences? So there are 2 teams. Each team has 4 players. They take it in turns to slide stones. Well, that's a bit. So we need to have a little look and see, can we combine sentences there? Can we get a little bit of cohesion, a bit more flow to that writing? So I would go to there. And then finally, each team has 8 round stones, which are smooth and round. They can be used to hit the opponent's 8 round stones. So you notice that you've got round and stones, round and stones repeated constantly. So if you remove the extra words, it will make more sense. Okay, hopefully you spotted the right editing tip to the right piece of text. So let's have a look at what our main activity is then. So again, you are using your writing book, and you're going to have a little look at page 8 now, page 8. And it says, this is a late draft of the beginning of a story set in the Wild West. Read it carefully, circle each mistake, and write the correction above. So this is all about proofreading. And it's really important to proofread our work to make sure that we've eliminated as many errors as we possibly can. And one of the things that we need to look for are spellings. Have we made any spelling errors? Have we made any punctuation errors? Is our grammar correct? So if we use the right tenses, etc. Have we got any incorrect facts? And is the writing not clear in places? So your task today is to look through and have a little look for mistakes. So I'm going to just model a little bit, and then your task today is to have a little look at the rest. So it was tough being the sheriff of his town. Okay, so I've noticed straight away that tough is spelt incorrectly. And so it asks us to correct that. So over here, you will write it above, but I'm going to put it over here. Tough is my correct spelling. Okay, tough. For the start, does that sound right for the start? Could be for a start. For a start, Natalia hated the snakes that lurked in the grass outside of town. So it doesn't sound like, that, so it needs to be an A, not a, for a start. Or that doesn't sound grammatically correct either to me. So I might put above there, to begin with, or I might say, firstly, Natalia hated the snakes that lurked in the grass outside of town. Okay. Then I notice here we've got a full stop, but after it, there is a small t. So there's a mistake there. So we'd circle that and put a capital. The bright green snakes. Oh, now I've got two adjectives there. So in my noun phrase, but I haven't got a comma. So I need to put the bright, comma, green snakes was easy to spot. Well, I've got a plural there, but I've got a singular here. So I need to put were. So that is not right. Okay, so we're easy to spot when they slithered into town. But the pale yellow ones were sneakier. Okay, so we spotted lots of mistakes in that little bit. So we're going to carry on and finish the first paragraph, and then you're going to carry on the rest of it. So Natalia has found one in her bed once. So we don't need that has. So I'd get rid of that. Okay, I'd cross that out. Natalia found one in her bed once. Okay, and I think that I'm not sure whether it doesn't make it clear which kind of snake it is. So I might put found a snake in her bed once. I could put even there to make it, you know, that little bit better. Natalia even found a snake in her bed once. So it sounds that little bit more flow to it. She slept outside for 3 nights before the snake left. So 4 isn't spelled correctly. It needs to be that. Okay, for 3 nights before the snake left. Okay. The memory made her shudder. Okay. So the memory, I could put this memory or that memory might sound a bit better. Okay. So that memory made her shudder. So you're going to spot each mistake. Okay. Now, in the book it says circle them, but you notice I've underlined them, I've circled bits. As long as you've spotted the errors, I'm not concerned if you underline or circle. You can do a mixture of either. Okay, but you are going to carry on the rest of that text, and you're going to proofread it through, and you're going to check to see if there are any errors, and you're going to correct them. Once you've done that, okay, you're going on to the challenge. So you're going to start from it was, and you're going to go to the end that says to shudder. You're going to make sure that you've corrected all the errors, and you can add extra detail or other improvements you think are appropriate. So if I look at the text then, I've got it in front of me. We want to make it more interesting. So it was tough being the sheriff of his town. Okay, gives you an idea that snakes are involved in this, doesn't it, already? So I'm gonna sort of make it a little bit more interesting to start off with. So I'm gonna put life was tough being the sheriff, practice my F's, of his town. So I've just made it that little bit interesting. Okay. So I said, so remember we said at the beginning on there we could say firstly, okay, or we put to begin with. So I'm going to sort of put, so firstly, oh, spelling firstly correctly. So firstly, Natalia hated the snakes. I'm going to change the word hated and use a better word. So I'm going to use detested the snakes um, that lurked in the grass outside of town. I'm going to put that lurked in the lush green grass. Okay, it would continue outside of town. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm improving it, I'm editing it, and I'm improving. I'm using different, I'm using a thesaurus so that I can up level vocabulary. And it's just getting it to make it sound far more interesting to the reader. So once you've proofread that activity on page 8, once you've found all the corrections, you're looking at that first paragraph again and you are up leveling it. You're adding that detail, you're rewriting it with all the corrections eliminated, and you're making it sound so much more interesting. Okay, I hope you enjoy your activity today and your challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing how you've improved that first paragraph, and I shall see you tomorrow. Good luck, everybody. Bye-bye.